He met Nicole Kidman while he was filming Dead Calm, I think it was, that movie on the boat.
No, that was her film. He was filming Days of Thunder with her.
Oh, when he met
That was her first big film, Days of Thunder.
Oh, yes, you're right. He wasn't in Dead Calm. She was in Dead Calm.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so he met Nicole Kidman and fell in love with her.
Right.
And how did the church resolve that, or how did they play a role?
Well, he wanted to take up with Nicole, but he was still married to Mimi. So the divorce between Mimi and Tom was facilitated by David Miscavige and his henchman at the time, Greg Wilhair. And he basically, I wasn't there for the conversations that happened. I just see the results, and I am pretty sure that Mimi was convinced that bringing Tom and Nicole and being able to bring Nicole into the Scientology fold as an up-and-coming superstar was the greatest good. And that, her marriage to Tom was less important than the achievement of the overall aims of Scientology.
Well, that's crazy, but okay. But what about, was Nicole Kidman actually a member of Scientology?
Well, not at the time when she got in, but she very quickly was indoctrinated into Scientology and brought to the international headquarters in Riverside, where the hole was in California, and quickly progressed up the steps of the Scientology bridge.
Those would be steps you'd have to pay for as a civilian, but Nicole, I'm sure, was fast-tracked.
Yeah, very fast-tracked. And
he would not have married her if she were not willing to become a Scientologist.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And no good Scientologist would marry someone who was not a Scientologist, and that relationship would not last.
So they adopted 2 children, Isabella and Connor. And I'll never forget their divorce, because just before their divorce, it was in the papers that they had renewed their vows. It was their 10-year wedding anniversary, and they had done a vow renewal. And she had said something to him, like, you're the most important person to me, and he said the same to her. And like a week later, he filed for divorce. And there was only one statement reportedly where he said something like, she knows why. I can't remember exactly how it went down.
Yeah.
Did that have to do with Scientology?
Honestly, I don't know, Megyn. But what I do know is that there was always a fear that Nicole would be influenced by her dad. And her dad is a psychiatrist. And to Scientologists, psychiatry is the devil. I mean, literally, the incarnate evil of planet Earth is psychiatry. And had she not been Nicole Kidman, with a father who was a psychiatrist, she would not have been allowed to be involved in Scientology.
They would have told him, you can't marry her?
Yes. I mean, if a regular old run-of-the-mill guy walking down the street walks into a church of Scientology and says, oh, well, I want to pay you for some auditing, and they fill out all the forms you have to fill out of all the information about your life, and it turns out that your father is a psychiatrist, you will not be allowed.
Wow. And
she was. And, I write in the book that Nicole, who is very, very, I can say this, but, it's sort of probably inappropriate for other people to say. She's very Australian.
What does that mean?
Australians are not particularly the over-the-top, enthusiastic kind of person. Like shouting from the rooftops and, being in any way self-important is a very, very big no-no in Australia. And Nicole already has a somewhat reserved demeanor.
You write in the book, you use the word cold.
Yeah. Or some people call her cold. I didn't. I got along great with her.
You're an Aussie too.
Exactly.
You're like, she seems totally normal to me.
That's exactly right. And she was never much of a match when it came to the Scientology stuff, like Tom is jumping on Oprah's couch and yelling at Matt Lauer and going Borneo about Scientology, and Nicole is like,
I'm kind of checking a box here so I can be married to Tom Cruise.
Kinda.
Wait, speaking of which, because that clip of Tom Cruise with Matt Lauer talking about putting children on medicine like Ritalin came up in the context of them discussing Brooke Shields and her postpartum depression. And she said openly that she had resorted to using some meds that very much helped her. And he was very critical of Brooke Shields doing that and of meds in general, psychiatric medications. Here's the clip. It went around the world.
Here we are today where I talk out against drugs and psychiatric abuses of electric shocking people, okay, against their will, of drugging children with them not knowing the effects of these drugs. Do you know what Adderall is? Do you know Ritalin?
If antidepressants work for Brooke Shields, why isn't that okay?
I disagree with it. And I think that there's a higher and better quality of life.
Do you examine the possibility that these things do work for some people? That yes, there are abuses. And yes, maybe they've gone too far in certain areas. Maybe there are too many kids on Ritalin. Maybe electric shock
Too many kids on Ritalin. Matt.
I'm just saying, but aren't there examples where it works?
Matt, you don't even, you're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. You're here on the Today Show.
Right.
And to talk about it in a way of saying, well, isn't it okay, and being reasonable about it when you don't know, and I do. I think that you should be a little bit more responsible in knowing what it is, because you communicate to people.
Having read your book, that is quintessential Scientology.
Absolutely.
Right?
That little bit tells you everything you need to know about the mindset of a Scientologist.
I know better, and you don't.
That's exactly right. And it doesn't matter what evidence there is. It doesn't matter what anybody else has to say about their experience. Tom Cruise is saying, I know, you don't. Brooke doesn't know that she was being helped by whatever it was that she was getting.
Right, she doesn't know.
She doesn't know. And, that is the definition of a cult member. Mm. Honestly, it is
There's
sort
a brainwashing
of
element.
The defining thing is they are absolutely convinced that they're right. And that anybody that says they're not is either uninformed, ignorant, stupid, and has it
glib.
In for them, glib, whatever the disparaging term is.
I will say this. His instincts about Matt Lauer were dead on.
Well, he lucked into that one.
He lucked into it. On Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Founded on science and inspired by nature, all Bond Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern-day world. From blue light glasses to red light therapy to EMF management and circadian-friendly lighting, Bond Charge products help you naturally address the issues of our modern-day way of life effortlessly. Now, their glasses come in non-prescription, prescription, and in reading options. Bond Charge also has other amazing products like low blue light bulbs, red light therapy devices, EMF 5G protection, and 100% blackout sleep masks, all backed by science. They can ship worldwide in rapid time. And most importantly, they have easy returns and exchanges. Go to bondcharge.com/MK and use that coupon code MK to save 20% off your order. That's BONCHARGE.com/MK and use coupon code MK to save 20%. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.